A bold stand against gerrymandering is unfolding in Missouri, where voters are rallying to challenge the state's newly drawn congressional map. This map, crafted to favor the GOP, has sparked a movement led by People Not Politicians Missouri, a group determined to restore fairness to the political landscape. On a typical day in Kansas City, you'll find Lean Villaluz, a dedicated activist, going door to door, seeking support for a petition. Her mission? To empower voters to decide the fate of the state's congressional boundaries. There's a sense of resentment among voters, even those not usually politically engaged. Villaluz explains, "Our representatives should uphold the will of the people, but instead they act as if we're incapable of making our own decisions." Missouri, alongside Texas, has become a battleground in the nationwide redistricting war initiated by President Donald Trump. This battle aims to influence the outcome of the 2026 midterms, with multiple states, including North Carolina, Indiana, Florida, Ohio, and Kansas, poised to follow suit. California, however, is countering these efforts by redistricting in favor of Democrats. Governor Mike Kehoe, a Republican, signed the new map into law, shifting the state's congressional representation from 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats to a plan that targets Democratic Representative Emanuel Cleaver II's seat in Kansas City. People Not Politicians Missouri, with Villaluz and thousands of volunteers, is working tirelessly to overturn this map. If they secure over 106,000 signatures by December 11, a referendum will be placed on the 2026 ballot, giving voters the final say. The group, confident in their progress, claims to have already gathered over 100,000 signatures. If successful, the referendum will stall the map's implementation until voters have their say. Villaluz's enthusiasm is palpable as she shares her experiences. "Everyone I've spoken to is eager to sign. I visited 5 neighborhoods so far, and under the new map, Kansas City would be divided into 3 Republican-leaning districts. I even took my petition to a Chapel Roan concert. But here's where it gets controversial. The group's efforts face resistance from top state election officials. Attorney General Catherine Hanaway has filed a lawsuit, arguing that a referendum on redistricting violates both federal and state constitutions. Secretary of State Denny Hoskins, after initially rejecting the petition, now claims that signatures gathered before his approval are invalid. Hoskins states, "The process must be clear and fair. Every Missourian deserves confidence in the integrity of our ballot measures." Richard Von Glan, Executive Director of People Not Politicians Missouri, counters, "Hoskins is spreading misinformation for political gain. According to our Constitution, we had the right to start collecting signatures before his approval." And this is the part most people miss. The Democratic National Committee has joined the fight, contributing staff and funds to the cause. Additionally, a series of lawsuits have been filed challenging the new districts. Rebecca Amezquah-Hogan, a plaintiff in one of these lawsuits, argues that mid-decade redistricting without a new census is unconstitutional. She fears her voting power will be diluted, and Kansas City, already facing challenges, will struggle even more with its resources divided among 3 districts. Most Missourians across party lines support this movement, except for some Republicans. Michael Davis, a state lawmaker, champions the new map, believing it sends a conservative message to Washington. However, 15 Republicans, including the Missouri House Speaker, voted against it. Bill Allen, a Republican state representative, opposes mid-decade redistricting, feeling disappointed that Missouri followed Texas and Trump's lead. He emphasizes, "My constituents' will is my responsibility, not the party's or the president's." Villaluz remains determined, planning to continue gathering signatures for the next 2 months. She believes Missourians won't be silenced and will have the final say in this matter. Missouri is being used as a testing ground by the GOP, Villaluz asserts. "They underestimate us, thinking they can manipulate a red flyover state, but we won't let that happen." The fight for fair representation continues, and the outcome will shape Missouri's political landscape for years to come. Will the people's voices be heard, or will the GOP's strategy prevail? The answer lies in the power of the vote and the resilience of those who stand against gerrymandering.